Everybody, welcome in. My name is Eric. This is the 5 to 9 Hustle, and tonight I am dealing with a mistake, a bad buy. I bought something that I should not have bought, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show pricing strategy for slow-moving items. Because my rule is I bought it, I brought it home. I'm gonna list it anyway, even though it doesn't appear to be that great of a seller. So here is the item here. It is a weird shirt. It has this all over chef print. He's like making a salad or something. Sometimes there's more than one of him. I don't know if that's like showing movement or what. But the reason I bought it without looking it up is it's Rain Spooner, which tends to be a good shirt to buy. I've bought and sold many of them. But this is the Guy Buffet collection by Rain Spooner. And in the thrift, I didn't think much of it other than, Guy, is it Guy Buffet or Buffet? I've chosen to say Buffet throughout the video, so hopefully that's right. Guy Buffet is not a brand that I will typically purchase. But when I see Rain Spooner, eyes light up, green light the buy, and I bring it home. So first, let me show you why it's not a good buy. So I've got my listing here ready to go. Got my photos in, title, item specifics, description, everything's ready. I just have to price it. And frequently when I'm pricing stuff or listing, I will have some other tabs up where I'm comping the item. Typically when I source stuff, I've got an idea what I can get for it, but when I go to list it, I might do this to get more, some more detailed idea of where I can price it. And this is where the problems started to become clear. So I've just done a simple search, Rain Spooner Guy Buffet, and we have 165 results. I didn't even bother filtering for pre-owned and buy it now because I think they're pretty much all pre-owned. And you can see there is one of the chef prints right there on top, and Anyway, there's 165. Problem when we flip over to solds, we only have 74, meaning about 25 a month are selling versus 165 listed, which is not a great sell-through rate. For my pre-owned thrifted clothing, if there's 165 listed, I would like to see around 165 sold. But there's even more problems in our active search results. We very consistently got Rain Spooner Guy Buffet listings. But I notice in thumbing through the solds, a lot of this is just straight Rain Spooner. There's one there, there's one there, there's another one there. So I started to think, well, how many of these were actually the Rain Spooner Guy Buffet collection? So first I tried just including an ampersand in between the two key phrases there. I got the exact same results. So then I tried adding quotation marks around the two key phrases, saying, hey, I definitely want both of those to appear, and it cut it down to 40. So we have 40 solds versus 165 listed, meaning we've got, 13 or 14 a month selling, about a 30% quarterly sell-through rate, 10% monthly sell-through rate. So very, very low, very low. That's down in like necktie category. That's not what I want on a thrifted shirt. So, so then the question becomes, how do we price it? Because you can see some of these sold at auction for $11. Some of them sold buy it now for $39, $45, $5. It's got a hole in it though. So I then tried to go a step further and added chef to my search. And on actives, there's only 11. And it turned out there actually are some different prints. They're not all the same. And so then looking at solds with the chef keyword, we only have 4. And this first one looks like a bit of a home run. It's got Santa Claus chefs in it. We don't have that. This one here is our exact same print, sold on an offer starting at $32.99. Usually on a best offer, I'll just assume they got around 80% of it, just the ballpark. And then there's these other two, but these really aren't the same type of print at all. I've blown this one up here, and it's really a whole different thing. It's more of like this Parisian street scene motif that became popular in kind of like the early 2000s. Although there's boats and a canal, so I don't know if it's supposed to be Venice or Parisian or what. But, problem being, we've only got really one sold for, let's say, let's just say $25 on the offer. So, again, going back to our actives, this is where we can basically, my pricing strategy here is when one of these does sell, I want the next one to sell to be mine. So that doesn't mean I'm going to price it at like $5.99 or $9.99. I do have $4 into the shirt. So I would like to at least get my money back, but hopefully still make some money. So we need to get real detailed here. Mine is a large. So if we filter this down further for large, we've got, is that the same print? It's very similar if not. We've got $27.95, we've got $50, we've got $40, and then we've got different prints. And then there's one at $22.95, which was the top one again because it's sponsored. And I think that is the same print. I think the lighting's just a little off. But they're charging, oh, that's weird. Have you noticed that before? This sponsored listing shows the $5 shipping. So it's $27.95 essentially. This one just shows the $22.95, but it's the same listing. So I know they're charging $5 shipping. So what I'm going to do is just price mine at $27.95 free shipping. I'm going to go $24.95 free shipping, just so it looks ultra appealing compared to this listing. I also think I have better photos. So if someone does come along wanting, for some reason, a rain spooner shirt with chefs making a salad on it, and they just have to have that shirt, of all the other ones in the same size, I'll be priced the lowest. I'll be offering free shipping and free returns. I should be the one that they select. So, I definitely don't always go bottom of the market. I'm not a race to the bottom guy, but you have to look at your listings individually. Sometimes it makes sense to price high. Sometimes it makes sense to price in the middle. And in cases like this, I think it makes sense to just price at the bottom. I'm still going to get as much as I can, but I'm not gonna let it sit there for a year at $39.95 when no one's buying it. The time to not do that is when stuff is absolutely flying. That's when you see pricing errors and it just drives you crazy, where there might be 100 listed and 250 sold. In that kind of situation where stuff is flying, I'll price at the top of the market. In this situation, I made a mistake. I saw the rain spooner. I went for it. It's not a fast-selling item, so I'm just going to price it down at the bottom and hope the next time one of these does sell, it is my listing. Okay, so here's what happened. I actually was leaning towards not posting that footage. Sometimes I'll record stuff and then I'll rewatch it and I just think, it's not that great, or I ramble too much, or whatever it is. Quality's bad. Like the lighting right here is terrible. But you're not here to look at me, I hope, anyway. But so I was leaning towards not posting it. I wasn't sure how much value that content would bring. But then something happened. I sold the shirt. So the shirt sold on March 4th, I made that original footage on February 10th. So we're pretty much right at 3 weeks on the nose that it took me to flip a very slow moving item um, by using a good pricing strategy. And I stated my goal was that when one of these sold, I wanted the next one that sold to be mine. So I thought it'd be interesting to see if that's what happened. So I've repeated the search here, and this shirt right here is one that I was real focused on when I was pricing and listing because it's the same size, and I was going to be right around this price point. So they're at basically $27.95 when you factor in the shipping. I chose to price at $24.95 free shipping. This one here, I don't remember if that was listed or not. That one is an XL. This one I believe was listed because I have looked at it before. $40. This one is also a large. I don't recall that being listed. I could be wrong though. I should probably just go rewatch the footage. But I really feel like people are overshooting at the $50 mark on what you're going to get for these, unless you have that Santa one. So let's go ahead and click over to the sold listings and see if we were the next one that sold or not, since that's what we were trying to do. So we had the Santa one in December, and then there was another one that sold before us. It sold on February 28th, but it was a size small. And you'll notice when I was figuring out my pricing, I really zeroed in on the other shirts in the same size as mine. And that's a really good technique to use. I've used that before with pants and shirts, and just sometimes there might be even more listed than here was kind of a small pool. But if there's like 65 of something, but then you look at just your size, there might be only 2 or 3, or sometimes none. And then you can price accordingly. Maybe you price a little higher if you're going to be the only one available in that size, right? So the buyer of the small most likely was not going to be the buyer of the large. Maybe we were competing with mediums and XLs for people that are kind of in between or whatever. But I don't think that size small shirt buyer was our buyer. So I'm pretty happy with that result. $24.95. Like I said, I think people are overshooting at the $40 and $50 range, and here's why. I'd rather have some of the money all the time than all of the money some of the time. I don't care if I waited 2 years that I could get $40 for the shirt, or even 12 months, because in that 12 months here, I've flipped it in 3 weeks. I was in for 4. It's a very light shirt. It's going to be probably $4 to ship, maybe a little less. Right, so I've got around $17 profit before fees. So we'll take off another, say, $3 for fees. So I'm right at $14. And shirts cost me $4. I can now take that money and go buy 3 more shirts and a cup of coffee. So in the time you're sitting there waiting a year to get top dollar, I've already bought 3 more shirts that are all going to flip fast. Then those sell. And then with each one of those, I can go buy 3 more shirts. So that's 9. And then those sell. You see how that works? Isn't that a lot better than waiting 12 months to get $40 when you could get 25 in 3 weeks? That's how I like to do it, especially with thrifted clothing. I'm not looking for those long tail items when I'm at the thrift shop. So anyway, the sale compelled me to post the video. I hope it had some useful information for you on pricing. I do see a lot of people get pricing wrong and then wonder why stuff doesn't sell. So there you go.